treat me to some nice winter running gear. Hello everybody, welcome back to Cansett Corner again, and Merry Christmas to everybody. I hope everybody had a good day, even with the restrictions, and also welcome to what is day 2 of my 2-day hangover. I got a little bit more merry than I was planning on getting, and yeah, I wasn't fit yesterday, but it was good fun though. And even though we couldn't have many people around, we just had my brother, but we had a great time, and yeah, time to get back out and keep the momentum going on the training. Today, I just thought I'd sort of lead into this by just having a little chat about staying motivated, what gives you motivation, and obviously that changes from person to person. One thing that does motivate me, I'm sorry to say, is things. My wife treated me to some nice winter running gear, as you can see. So today I'm out giving it a little bit of a test. So we'll do about somewhere between 7 to 9 miles, nice and easy, zone 2, and just keeping that momentum going, because for me that's another big part that motivates me, is keeping the momentum in your training. Like I said, a big important part for me is to keep the momentum going in your training. But as important as to keep the momentum going is, probably more important is to keep the motivation high. When you see people run these like insane times over something like a marathon distance, what you don't see is the thousands of hours that went into that, potentially tens of thousands over years, for them to get into that condition to go and run that 2.5 hour marathon or something crazy like that. And this is the time of year, certainly around New Year, where people, they've had a bit too much to eat and drink for the last couple of weeks. They decide, right, I'm going to get in shape, and then most famously they'll join the gym, and probably by the end of February our gym membership's going into arrears, because it's sort of out of sight, out of mind. It's hard work, and their motivation for it wanes, and that's it. So as soon as you get a little bit of a hiccup, the momentum drops. If you're not motivated to really drag yourself back there, you're just not going to go. So I thought today I'd talk to you a little bit about a couple of tips of what sort of helps me stay motivated, and hopefully how you can maybe apply it to yourself if you're just getting into fitness. Firstly, you kind of have to identify what motivates you. Do you like the social aspect of it? Do you like just purely the challenge? Are you a bit more sort of introverted and you just want to see what you can do? Do you have a cause that you believe in, that you really want to go for? Such as sort of fundraising or raising awareness for something. Now, other than probably the people who are a little bit more insular and don't really like to broadcast and brag about their things, pretty much all the others can be helped by finding a way to keep you accountable. So tip number 1, which used to work great for me before I got more serious, to keep me accountable, was what makes the world go around, baby? Money. So find an event, find a sport that you enjoy. Obviously for me it's triathlon. Running was before this, So find an event you wanted to do. I've said in previous videos I was wanting to do a marathon, just because my dad did one. I thought the idea of it was just so cool, so I thought, well, let's do a half first. So probably around about February one year, I put my hand in my pocket, signed up for the Great North Run ballot, got a place, and that was it. So that was basically my first foray into training for an event. I did the event, I didn't have a goal anymore, and that motivation waned and sort of disappeared, because that accountability of that's your target event. If you don't train for that, you're not going to enjoy it, and you're not going to raise the money you need to help the charity that you promised. So following year, after sort of falling back into bad habits, I did the same again, but this time I did it with the York Marathon, and it worked great. And I actually managed the second time round, with it being so much of a bigger event and a lot more training, everything became a bit more habitual. Having some sort of accountability, or being accountable to someone, something or some goal, just helps keep that motivation when you draw the curtains on the morning, it's pissing down rain and you've got a 2-hour run to go and do or something like that, or a 4-hour bike ride. Yeah, you've always got this in the back of the mind that you're not just letting yourself down, you're letting the people who you've told, who you've promised the effort for, you're letting all them down as well. So having that bit of accountability, that, for me, that's how I stay motivated and sticking on to what I'm doing. So, what if that doesn't work for you? What if you're just not into social media or something like that? What if you're much more of a person? Well, next thing you could do, which works in much the same way, find your local clubs, training with a group, having group challenges, having everybody sort of sharing their stories and their achievements in their training. It makes the whole process a lot easier. Yeah, I mean, your local club will always give you the opportunity to get a little bit of gentle encouragement. Obviously for me it's the Tri Club, so and we've had all sorts of like events, things like that, just little virtual stuff. I mean, again, it just sort of gives you a bit more encouragement to get out, and once you've done it often enough, you start to form these habitual behaviours, but habits don't form overnight, so the hard work until they do form. I mean, anybody who's ran in the past knows when you've trained a bit to go out and run 5-6 miles, it's not a huge effort, it's just a bit of fun. But if you haven't ran for months, or you're coming off the cigarettes, or you've got a bit of a beer belly, going and running 5 miles might damn really well kill you. So yeah, these habits take a while to form, but it is important that you form them, because it brings you on to probably the most important part of actually achieving these goals, especially the bigger ones, and that is what pretty much every coach will touch on at some point, and that's consistency. Now all this is a little bit easy for me to say, because for me, ever since I got diagnosed, motivation comes quite easy for me. Obviously I'm working with the Brain Tumour Research Charity, and I want to try and raise awareness. I mean, I was the beneficiary of some good work they did with my first surgery, and I want other people to know about it, so other people get the same opportunity. That's obviously something that's quite close to my heart, and so I do. Obviously, the days that I don't feel like training, it comes easy for me just because of that. Probably everybody at some point has had some shit happen to them, and I can guarantee you there'll be a charity or a good cause that is set up to try and stop that shit thing from happening to other people. So pick something that's close to your heart and go for it, and your own sort of work ethic will keep you accountable at that point, and you start to get some real enjoyment about what you're doing. Then that'll help you keep it up long term, with, I suppose, the ultimate goal is for this to be a lifelong thing. Lastly, I'd say you've got to pick something you enjoy. Don't just pick something because you think it's ridiculous. To be honest, I know a lot of people look out the Ironman and think that's absolutely ludicrous to be able to do that, but I didn't pick it because it was tough. I picked it because I saw it on TV and I thought that was incredible. I enjoyed the sort of message behind what people have done in the past. Quite inspirational people like Ramona Arroyo was one, who was an MS patient. And more recently we've had Chris Nikic, who was the first athlete with Down syndrome to do it. And I thought with what I had, try and get up there with those sort of people who've got some big holdbacks, yet they go and do it anyway. So hopefully that sort of story helps raise a bit of money and awareness for what I've got. But I'm sure you'll find one. You'll find something for yourself, and it is a great way to stay motivated. But I think that's probably about all I've got to say today. So just enjoy a nice winter's day. Now, I'm not alone, probably everybody slags off where they live, but it is a nice part of the world where it can be. 9 miles in, we're on the noisy road. I was going to turn back ages ago, but I'm having too much fun. I've decided to make up the distance a little bit more, and we're off down the noisy road golf course. We'll head on from there. As I promise, if you stay consistent, if you stay motivated, you will start to enjoy this stuff, and you'll absolutely take 2021 by the horns, smash whatever goal you set. So just keep yourself accountable and get stuck in. Right, let's get home.